do that. Here we go. All right. Now, where's our name going to be displayed? It should be displayed alongside the button. So let's do that. Actually, instead of 6, let's do 3. Copy this, paste at the bottom. 9, instead of a button, it's going to be a text field. So text field. Our text field is going to have a label of name. We're going to make it a small one, right? Small. What else we got? We're going to disable it because we don't really want the user to interact with it. We're going to give it the full width of the parent grid item, and we're going to pass it a value of name, and we're going to make that a self-closing text field. And here we go. So here's the thing. Because I disabled it, text fields come with floating labels. Because I disabled it, it is not floating. So the shortcut to that is we're going to do input label props, and we're going to force it to shrink. We'll force it to shrink. Our label automatically floats to the top. All right, so we are pretty much done with our form. Now all we have to do is go back to our demo, and then do some things with these, with the gender, the name, the include last name, and the nationality. All right. Okay. Let's do that. All right. First thing first. Go to demo. We're going to create the params. Const params, set params, use state. That is going to be a JavaScript object, which is going to have nationality is equal to American by default, gender is equal to male by default, and include last name is going to equal to false by default. So now I can actually go back and I don't need this to be generic anymore. It's displaying this error because I jumped the gun and I did not pass it here. So params is equal to params. Now we're not going to have any issue. So const handle change. It's going to get receive an event, and we're going to deconstruct name and value from the event. So it's going to be event, so E for event.target. All right. And pretty much what we are going to do, we're going to say set params. We're going to be using the spread operator here. We're going to do ... params and name value. It's a little bit of a shortcut. So this right here is essentially the same thing as doing this. Actually, param here needs to be capitalized. All right. So this is essentially the same thing as doing previous return previous name value. See all of that? Shrunk to just one line of code. All right. Now that we have our handle change, we're going to come down here in our form. We're going to pass our handle change, and we are so far so good. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we pass the function so that when we click generate, it generates the, well, we haven't do generate yet. We've passed the function so that when we make our selections, whether it is male, female, American, yes, no, we're registering that. But what I'm noticing here is when I'm making a change here, it is not changing. So let's see what's going on with this. For the gender, the gender was not registering because the name was wrong. So now that I've changed that, when I click it, everything is working properly. Okay? All right, so we're now going back to demo. Let us now import our pictures. Sorry, not our pictures. We're going to import the names. So we're going to do import boy names, boy first names from, let's go back a couple, data, boy first name. Shift Alt down arrow 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is going to be, actually we can do this like that. Girl first name, and then last names, and Chinese first names, and Chinese last names. So let's save to see if we get any errors triggered. No errors. All right. Okay, so now let's work on the generate name function here. So let's do const generate name. All right, All right, so first thing we're going to do is we need to know what the selected nationality is. We need to know what the selected gender is. We need to know if the person decided to include last name, and we are deconstructing all of that from our params. Okay, and now let's say let name equal to an empty string. All right. We're going to do let name is equal to an empty string. We're going to say if nationality is equal to American. We're going to do, this is only going to be triggered if nationality is equal to American, else it is Chinese. We're going to do something else. Okay, so if nationality is equal to American, we're going to check for the gender. If gender is equal to male. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a pause here real quick. If gender is equal to male, I'm using next video in this ternary operators series here. We're gonna do name is equal to top right. Get random. Remember that get random function I created earlier. Get random. We're going to pass. See you in the next video.